My name is Christian Eschbach, and welcome to Top 10 in Under 10 AC/DC to ZZ Top. Alright, everybody, welcome to my Top 10 for the letter B, and the letter B is going to be for the Beatles. Okay, so my Top 10 Beatles. I'm going to be honest, I love the Beatles, but I love the psychedelic era of the Beatles, so this is going to be really reflective of that. Um, Most of these are also going to come off of collection albums, but if you've ever watched my review for the Beatles Blue album, I explain in great detail why collections when it comes to the Beatles are very important, because the Beatles released a lot of singles that were just that. They were singles. They didn't appear on albums. So you'd have to pick up the collections to be able to get the singles. All right. Let's move it on. All right. So we're going to kick off with Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band from the album of the same title. This is one of those songs that to me was very close to proto metal. I really love how heavy that song comes in. They always talk about the Hendrix cover of it and how Hendrix. I've always wanted to cover this one, man, because this is one of those ones where I really think it could be heavy as fuck if done right, and it'd be tasteful and good and true to the original. You just got to do it just right. After that, we get to Strawberry Fields Forever. Now, this is one of those Beatles songs that I would definitely put in the top 10 for sure, but it is not a song that I personally want to listen to all the time. And the reason why is sometimes it just gets a little much, a little annoying a bit, just not my, just a little. But once again, I think it belongs in the top 10. And I think the reason I feel the way I do about Strawberry Fields, where I find it gets a little annoying, is, almost everybody I knew had the Beatles Blue set, and it was one of those songs that just got so overplayed. After that, we go on to Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Okay, so I know this one's childish. I know this one, a lot of people are kind of like, you either love this song or you hate this song. I happen to be on the list of people that love this song. And this is from the Yellow Submarine movie, and the version that I put up on here is the Yellow Submarine soundtrack, not to be confused with the Yellow Submarine album. They are two totally different things, because the Yellow Submarine soundtrack is basically a compilation album along with a few new tracks in it that were used to make the Yellow Submarine movie. The Yellow Submarine album has new tracks and then score tracks on it, and that's a whole different discussion amongst Beatles fans. Next up, Eleanor Rigby. Now, the only way I have a version of Eleanor Rigby from the Beatles is off the Number Ones album, just because it is just a little bit prior to the True Blue psychedelic period, and as such, I don't have it on anything else. But I love Eleanor Rigby. Great song. Absolutely great song. And everybody who's ever covered it since then has also always done it beautiful justice. Then we get into Revolution. Now, this Revolution is also from the 1967 and 1970. I forgot to mention that was also where Strawberry Fields was from, which is the blue set, as I call it. The version of Revolution on the blue set is the famous one we all know, you say you want a revolution, well, the aggressive in your face one. If you pick up the White Album, the version of Revolution that's on there, there's actually two songs on there called Revolution, but the version of Revolution that's on there with the lyrics that we all know and love is set to a completely different type of music. Like, the music style is completely different. It's a little more softer, a little more laid back, a little more doo-wop-y almost. Say you want a revolution, well. So I like the harder, more aggressive one. That's the one that works for me, and that's the one that I like. Everybody loves, right? I don't know if I've ever heard anybody say they prefer the other one, but I'm sure they're out there, right? Let me know in the comments. That's what the comment section's for. After Revolution, I went with Come Together. Come Together is on here because it is the first song I ever made as a regular karaoke track in my performances. And I still do it to this day. I love the song. It's just a really good, fun song, and the lyrics are great. After that, oh, and my version of Come Together is off of Abbey Road, where I picked it from. After that, we get Let It Be. Now, the version of Let It Be I put on here is the version off of Let It Be Naked. And the reason I went with the version off Let It Be Naked is purely just because I don't own the regular Let It Be album. So yeah, I went with the version of Let It Be Naked, just because I wanted to put some representation on there for something a little bit different. Otherwise, for the most part, I mean, if you're a hardcore die-hardist, you'll notice the differences. The average person probably won't notice too much. Then after that, we're back to the blues set again, the 67 to 70, with I Am the Walrus, Goo Goo Gajoob. That's right, baby. Not cuckoo kachoo, it's goo goo gajoob. All right, love the song. And then we finish off with 2 tracks from the White Album, which is While My Guitar Gently Weeps, which I think is the greatest song the Beatles ever released. Sorry, folks, I'm a Harrison fan. Anyways, While My Guitar Gently Weeps is just the whole way around is one of my all-time favorite songs as well. It's not just one of my favorite Beatles songs, it's really on my all-time list. Beautiful song. And Helter Skelter, another one, man. Just great song. Great metally, proto-metally song. And people are like, how could you call that proto-metal? Well, have you heard Motley Crue's version of it? It gets pretty jacked up into the metal range. And not just glam, into the metal range. I've also had the luxury of watching Rob Zombie and Marilyn Manson perform it together live. Yeah, man, that's definitely a proto-metal song because the metal guys can do it no problem. Anyways, those are my thoughts, my views, my opinions. My top 10 for the Beatles: Sgt. Pepper's, Strawberry Fields, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, Eleanor Rigby, Revolution, Come Together, Let It Be, I Am the Walrus, While My Guitar Gently Weeps, and Helter Skelter. Let me know what you think. I know I really neglect the early days of the Beatles, the really poppy, I Want to Hold Your Hand stuff. I neglect it for a reason. It's not stuff that I'm really into. It really isn't. For me, it really takes till 67 before I really get hardcore into the Beatles. And even, I mean, you got Eleanor Rigby, which is, theoretically just a smidge before that. But yeah, my thoughts, my views, my opinions. That's what the comment section's for. Let me know what you guys think. What are your top 10 Beatles songs? I'm really interested. I'd like to know. Anyways, like button, subscribe button, bell for notifications. There's 2 links below. One will take you to Patreon. You can throw me some money that way. The other one will take you to TWA, Trampoline Wrestling Association. Go check that out. Peace, love, take care.